Listen closely because what I'm about to say can change everything. Your morning isn't just the start of your day, it's the start of your identity. And the people who rise, who lead, who reshape the world, they don't begin their mornings by accident. They build them with intention, discipline, and fire. So today I'm giving you 6 morning habits of highly successful people. But not as rules, as a challenge to the version of you who knows you're meant for more. The moment you wake up, before your feet touch the floor, before the world floods in with notifications, expectations, and noise, there is a sacred space that belongs entirely to you. Those first 5 minutes are the most underestimated, underused, and yet most powerful minutes of your entire day. Most people let them slip away without a thought, but highly successful people, they guard this window like treasure. Because they know something simple but life-changing. The way you start your morning is the way you shape your mindset, your decisions, your energy, and ultimately, your destiny. These first moments are not about productivity, they are about identity. Who are you choosing to be today? The world will try to answer that for you if you don't answer it first. Think about it when your alarm rings. You're standing at the edge of 2 versions of yourself. One hits snooze and postpones their own potential. The other rises, not perfectly, not dramatically, but intentionally. That intention is everything. Successful people don't wake up and immediately give their attention away. They don't hand their focus to messages, headlines, or the needs of others. They take a breath, gather themselves, and step into the day with ownership. They understand that you can't expect confidence if your first action is avoidance. You can't expect clarity if your first thought is chaos. Those 5 minutes are the space where you choose courage over comfort, grounding over rushing, purpose over autopilot. That choice, repeated day after day, becomes a superpower. And what do they do in those 5 minutes? They reconnect with themselves. Not with the world, with themselves. They sit with a single, quiet question: what do I want this day to mean? Not what do I have to do today? Not what's waiting in my inbox. But what do I want this day to stand for? This question forces honesty. It cuts through distraction. It invites intention. Some people breathe deeply. Some pray. Some meditate. Some simply sit upright in silence. But the common thread is presence. These minutes aren't about checking off a habit. They're about anchoring your state of mind before life tries to pull it in 100 directions. When you start your day centered, the challenges don't shrink, but you grow strong enough to meet them with clarity instead of panic. Now imagine the opposite. You wake up and instantly grab your phone. Your brain is pulled into comparison, urgency, information overload. Your nervous system spikes before you even stand up, and without realizing it, you've already surrendered your mindset to external forces. That moment determines your emotional rhythm for the rest of the day. If your first input is stress, your mind becomes wired for stress. If your first input is distraction, your focus becomes scattered. If your first input is negativity, your resilience becomes fragile. That's why the 5-minute rule isn't a motivational trick. It's neurological power. It's training your brain to respond rather than react, to ground itself rather than drift, to lead rather than follow. Successful people build that discipline not because it's glamorous, but because it works. But here's the real truth. Owning the first 5 minutes is not about escaping responsibility. It's about reclaiming yourself. You are the one person you will spend every second of your life with. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation for every dream you pursue, every challenge you face, every goal you chase. So ask yourself, when you wake up, do you greet the day like an accident or a decision? Do you meet yourself with intention or impatience? You deserve mornings that reflect your strength, your ambition, your potential, not mornings that bury it. These 5 minutes are your promise to yourself that you refuse to begin your day from a place of chaos. You begin from power. And once you understand the value of these 5 minutes, everything changes. You begin to notice how differently you show up. Your mind becomes clearer, Your decisions become sharper. Your reactions become calmer. You stop getting dragged into other people's urgency and start creating your own momentum. You don't chase the day, you lead it. The world notices, opportunities notice. You notice because you feel different, more grounded, more intentional, more in control. This is not magic, it's not luck, it's not some secret formula only available to the extraordinary. It's available to you right now, tomorrow morning, and every morning after that. The first 5 minutes are a mirror reflecting your commitment to your own growth. And when you choose to rise with intention, you're telling the universe, I am ready, I am focused, I am here on purpose. The first 5 minutes are not small. They are not insignificant. They are the birthplace of your discipline, your identity, your greatness. Own them, and you will own your day. Own your day, and you will own your future. Your why is the fire inside you, your fuel, your anchor, your compass. And yet most people roll out of bed and step straight into their day without ever reconnecting with the reason they're living it. They jump into tasks, obligations, routines, all without pausing to remember the deeper mission behind it all. Highly successful people refuse to make that mistake. They understand that purpose is not something you remember once a year during a crisis or a breakthrough. It's something you choose to reconnect with every single morning. Because without purpose, even a full schedule will feel empty. But with purpose, even the hardest challenges feel meaningful. Reconnecting with your why transforms your day from something you have to survive into something you're meant to shape. When your morning begins with your mission in mind, you walk differently, you speak differently, you decide differently. You're not getting through the day, you're building something with it. This is why successful people make purpose their first mental ritual of the morning. They create a moment, sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes 5 minutes, where they remind themselves of the life they're committed to creating. It could be the dream they're chasing, the change they want to make, the person they want to become, the people they want to support. Whatever their why is, they bring it forward with intention. Because purpose isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's buried under stress or doubt. Sometimes it's just waiting for you to look it in the eye again so it can guide you. Successful people make that reconnection a priority because they know if they don't direct their day, life will do it for them. Purpose gives you resilience, especially in the morning. Before emails, before deadlines, before conversations that drain you or decisions that overwhelm you, your why acts like armor. When you remember why you're doing what you're doing, the hard moments don't break you. The setbacks don't define you. The distractions don't own you. You don't get thrown off by every inconvenience because you have something bigger pulling you forward. Successful people are not fearless. They're purposeful. And purpose makes you strong in ways motivation never can. Motivation fades when life gets messy. Purpose deepens. Motivation depends on mood. Purpose depends on values. Motivation comes and goes. Purpose stays. That is why they reconnect with it every morning. It sharpens their inner strength before the world tests it. But purpose is more than strength. It's direction. When you know your why, you stop living on autopilot. You stop saying yes to things that don't align. You stop chasing validation and start chasing intention. You stop drifting and start designing. A morning grounded in purpose allows you to see your day through a strategic lens. Which actions move you closer to your mission? Which tasks matter? And which simply drain your energy? Which conversations should you invest in? Which habits reinforce the identity you're building? Purpose becomes the filter that shapes every choice you make. Successful people don't waste energy trying to do everything. They pour their energy into the things that serve their mission. And that clarity begins the moment they wake up. Reconnecting with your why also reconnects you with your identity. Not the identity the world gives you, the identity you choose. When you remind yourself every morning of what you stand for, you strengthen the foundation of who you are becoming. And identity is powerful. When you say, this is who I am, your brain begins to follow, your actions begin to align, and your confidence begins to rise. Successful people don't wait for the world to validate them. They validate themselves through the mission they live by. Purpose becomes a declaration. I'm not here to shrink. I'm not here to drift. I'm here to build, to grow, to impact, to live fully. And when you start your day with that level of self-alignment, everything you do becomes infused with meaning. And here is the truth that too many people overlook. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand to be powerful. It doesn't have to be poetic, dramatic, or perfect. It just has to be real. It has to matter to you. Maybe your why is your family. Maybe it's your ambition. Maybe it's a future you refuse to give up on. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's growth. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you are more capable than you were led to believe. Whatever your purpose is, when you reconnect with it each morning, you ignite a fire that transforms ordinary days into extraordinary opportunities. Because purpose doesn't just fuel achievement. It fuels joy, passion, focus, courage, and authenticity. It turns your life into something you're not just living, but shaping. Reconnect with your why every morning. Let it guide your choices, strengthen your spirit, and shape your destiny. When your purpose leads, your potential expands, and your life rises with it. There is a power inside your body that most people never fully tap into. Not because it's hidden, not because it's complicated, but simply because they ignore it. Highly successful people never start their mornings by waiting for energy to appear. They know energy isn't a gift, it's a choice. And the moment they wake, they activate it. Movement in any form is their switch. You don't need an hour, you don't need equipment, you don't need perfection, you need intention. When you move your body in the morning, stretch, walk, breathe deeply, do a few push-ups, anything, you ignite a chain reaction inside you. Your heart wakes up, your breath sharpens, your focus intensifies, your mind clears, you stop drifting through the morning and start commanding it. That's what successful people understand. Energy isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you create. Think of your body as your primary tool for success. A powerful mind cannot thrive in a sluggish body. When you move, even for a few minutes, you change the entire chemistry of your brain. Stress decreases, confidence rises, anxiety loosens its grip, discipline becomes easier. You stop negotiating with yourself because your body is already in motion. And once you're in motion, physically, you step into motion mentally. Ideas flow more naturally, decisions become faster. And little by little, day by day, your body becomes stronger, your energy becomes more reliable, and your confidence becomes unshakable. Successful people build this relationship with themselves every morning, not as a chore but as an investment. And here's the truth that matters most. When you move your body in the morning, you're not just preparing for the day, you're preparing for your life. You're laying the foundation for how you show up in your work, your goals, your relationships, your challenges, your dreams. You're setting a tone of power instead of passivity. You're telling your body, today we rise. And that message ripples through every moment that follows. The strength you build physically becomes strength you can use mentally. The discipline you practice physically becomes discipline you can apply everywhere else. Morning movement is not just a habit, it's a strategy. A strategy used by people who refuse to settle for average energy, average effort, or average results. Move your body every morning. Command your energy before the world demands it. When you take charge of your body, you take charge of your power, and the day becomes yours to conquer. Every morning, the world offers you two things: noise and choice. Most people choose the noise, scrolling, swiping, consuming content that drains them before they've even started their day. Highly successful people choose differently. They feed their minds, not their doubts. They understand that the first information you consume becomes the foundation of your thoughts, your decisions, your confidence, and your emotional state. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it first grows the fastest. If you plant comparison, fear, negativity or chaos, your day becomes shaped by those seeds. But if you plant knowledge, inspiration, growth or clarity, your mindset shifts into possibility. Successful people treat their morning thoughts like gold. They know the world will influence them, it always will, but they choose what sets the tone. In the quiet of the morning, your mind is at its most absorbent. It's open, fresh and ready to learn. That's why feeding it wisely is so powerful. A single powerful quote, a page from a meaningful book, a short podcast that expands your perspective. These small choices compound. They become the stories you tell yourself. They become the beliefs you reinforce. They become the narrative you carry into your day. I'm capable. I'm learning. I'm evolving. You're not just feeding your mind information, you're feeding it identity. And identity shapes everything. Successful people know that greatness doesn't start with action, it starts with thought. Change your thoughts and your entire direction shifts. And what happens when you don't feed your mind intentionally? The world does it for you. You wake up and scroll, and suddenly you're comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. You see bad news and start your day with fear or frustration. You see negativity and absorb it without even realizing. And before you've eaten breakfast, your confidence has been chipped away. Not because you're not enough, but because you consumed content that made you forget that you are. Successful people never let the world dictate their internal state. They don't hand their morning mindset to algorithms. They lead it. They curate it. They protect it. This isn't about avoiding reality, it's about choosing the lens through which you're going to face it. Feeding your mind in the morning is also an act of alignment. It reminds you of your values, goals, and growth. When you choose to read something uplifting, something educational, something that expands you, you're reinforcing the direction you want your life to move in. You're not drifting, you're steering. You're not reacting, you're designing. That alignment becomes a compass. It influences how you speak to others, how you make decisions, how you handle stress, how you treat yourself. Think of your mind as the captain of your day. If it starts aligned, the rest of the day follows with clarity, courage, and intention. Successful people invest in that alignment because they know misalignment is expensive. It costs time, energy, emotional peace, and progress. And here's something many people don't realize. Feeding your mind is a discipline that builds other disciplines. When you choose to consume something meaningful instead of something mindless, you are training your brain to choose long-term growth over instant gratification. That kind of discipline doesn't stay in the morning. It shows up everywhere. It shows up in your goals, in your relationships, in your habits, in your decisions. Successful people build this discipline like a muscle. And just like a muscle, it grows stronger with repetition. The more you feed your mind intentionally, the less tolerance you have for anything that dims your potential. You start to crave knowledge. You start to crave growth. You start to crave alignment. That shift is powerful. It's the beginning of personal evolution. Your morning content is more than information. It's a declaration of who you are becoming. When you feed your mind something powerful, you're reminding yourself that your life is bigger than your doubts. You're refusing to live small. You're rejecting the belief that you're stuck. You're choosing to rise with intention instead of drifting through numbness. You're saying to yourself, I am worth the investment. And you are. You deserve mornings that strengthen you, not mornings that weaken you. You deserve mornings that fill you with confidence, not insecurity. You deserve mornings that expand your mind, not mornings that shrink your potential. Successful people understand that the world will challenge them. So they prepare their mind like a warrior prepares for battle, with strength, clarity, and purpose. Feed your mind with intention every morning. Choose growth over noise, purpose over distraction, strength over self-doubt. When your mind is nourished, your life becomes unstoppable. Most people wake up and fall straight into chaos, reacting, rushing, scrambling to catch up with a day that hasn't even truly begun. But highly successful people know that the difference between a powerful day and a draining one comes down to this intention. Not pressure, not perfection, intention. They don't wake up and let the world decide what matters. They decide. They don't start their morning being pulled in 100 directions. They start it by choosing the few that actually lead somewhere. And that single shift from reacting to directing changes everything. Planning with intention is not a rigid checklist. It's clarity. It's ownership. It's giving your time a purpose instead of letting it slip through your fingers unnoticed. Every day brings endless opportunities to get distracted. Messages, deadlines, opinions, obligations, noise. It's easy to get lost in tasks that feel urgent but add nothing meaningful to your life. That's why successful people sit down in the morning and ask themselves one simple transformational question. What are the top 3 things that will move me forward today? Not the easiest things, not the fastest things, not the things that make them feel productive but keep them stuck in the same place. They choose the things that matter, the things that align with their goals, their growth, their future. Planning with intention is about identifying what deserves your energy, instead of letting everything steal it. And when you begin your day with that clarity, you don't just survive the hours ahead, you shape them. One of the biggest reasons people feel overwhelmed is because they try to do everything. They underestimate how much focus they actually have and overestimate how much multitasking will help. But the truth is simple. Multitasking fractures your mind. It drains your creativity, weakens your momentum, and eats away at your confidence. Highly successful people know that effectiveness is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with full presence. When they plan their day with intention, they choose fewer tasks but execute them with higher quality and deeper commitment. That creates results, and results create confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. By directing their day instead of drowning in it, they build progress where others build stress. Planning with intention also creates emotional freedom. When you know exactly what matters most, you stop feeling guilty for the things that don't. You stop feeling pulled in every direction. You stop saying yes to everything just to keep the peace. You stop letting people hijack your time with their urgency. You finally take your day back. Successful people protect their priorities because they understand that protecting their priorities is the same as protecting their future. When you plan your morning with intention, you replace panic with purpose. You stop being overwhelmed by the size of your life and start being energized by the direction of it. And that shift isn't just practical, it's powerful. And let's talk about the deeper truth. Intentional planning builds trust within yourself. When you choose what matters and follow through, even in small ways, you send a message to your mind, I keep my promises. That message is everything. It builds self-respect. It builds identity. It builds the foundation of discipline. People don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they stop believing themselves. But when you start your day by choosing your priorities and honoring them, your confidence grows. Your consistency strengthens. You stop seeing goals as distant dreams and start seeing them as inevitable outcomes. Successful people don't plan to impress anyone. They plan to become someone. Someone strong, someone focused, someone unstoppable. And here is where it all comes together. Intention creates direction, and direction creates impact. When you plan your day with intention, you stop living on autopilot. You stop wandering through hours without meaning. Every choice becomes sharper. Every action becomes bolder. Every moment gains purpose. You're not just getting things done. You're building a life that reflects your values, your goals, your passions, and your vision. A life you're proud of. Planning with intention is not a morning habit. It is an identity statement. It is you saying, I know where I'm going. I know what matters. And I'm choosing to live this day with purpose, not pressure. Plan your day with intention, not urgency. Choose what matters. Honor your priorities and let clarity guide your actions. When you direct your morning, you direct your future. and the world begins to rise to meet your purpose. Every morning you stand face to face with the most influential voice in your life, your own. Before anyone else speaks, before the world demands anything from you, before doubt has a chance to creep in, it's your voice that sets the tone. Successful people understand the weight of that truth. They know that if they don't speak to themselves with strength, the world will speak to them with fear. If they don't claim their identity, the day will shape it for them. If they don't affirm their worth, their mind will replay old stories that no longer belong to them. Speaking to yourself like someone you believe in is not a cheesy affirmation practice. It is psychological strategy, emotional armor, and a declaration of self-respect, all rolled into one. Your voice can either limit you or liberate you. Successful people choose liberation every single morning. Most people underestimate how deeply their internal dialogue shapes their reality. Your brain listens to your words. It believes your tone. It builds your identity from your language. If your first thoughts are self-criticism, judgment, or insecurity, your mind begins the day already defending itself.